us with how can you maximize your Toastmasters Club. Claudia Mitchell-McCloud is presenting this evening from the Successful Club Series. The series is a set of presentations addressing the subject of quality club meetings. Members will learn about the skills and standards they must strive to achieve for their club to be successful. This evening, Claudia will present Keeping the Commitment, which examines a Toastmaster promise and how members can benefit from upholding the principles of the promise. Toastmasters is a team sport. Claudia has been a Toastmaster for 3 years and has served as an AA and as president of Suncoast. She currently is a member of Advanced Articulators. She is Area 53 Director and coach for the Urban Center Toastmasters Club. The question Claudia will answer this evening is, how can you maximize your Toastmaster Club experience? The answer, keeping the commitment. Claudia,
how many of you all are familiar with the American pastime baseball? Good, good, good. Because, Leslie, are you familiar with baseball at all? 9 guys, they call it Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
3, but you sort of familiar with it? Sam, you're familiar with baseball? Great. Because I'll probably refer to baseball a lot. My background is not in sports at all. I mean, I am so bad that I was at a church picnic once and everybody was over to play volleyball and I thought I could play and they said, don't you have to watch your food or something? I was bad. Man, I didn't think I was that bad, but apparently I am. My daughter played softball, my son played baseball, and they had a parent-child game with my daughter's softball team, and they put me in right field. And if you know about right field, typically with children, no balls get hit to right field, right? That's people that really have no ability, that's where. So the game was going, and I did, because I do like to support my children, I did learn how to keep score, and I was very good at that. Always volunteered to be the scorekeeper. But this particular game, they put me in right field after I had said that I'd be happy to keep score. They said, no, parents, come on and be fun. So I'm in right field, I'm standing there, one child after the next, and then my daughter's up to bat. And where does my daughter hit the ball? To right field. Nobody else hit, and I am like in a panic. Because I know I can't throw the ball, I know all the things to say, I know all the little cheers, but I have no athletic ability. I have to go get this ball, I've got to I'm afraid to throw it because then it's even more, it's just terrible. Terrible. But baseball and softball are team sports. And one of my biggest things, I guess a pet peeve for parents, was to punish their child by saying, you're not going to be able to play in the game. You know what? You've been bad. You stayed up too late, you got a D on your homework, whatever it is, and your penalty is, you can't play. You know why that bothered me? Because baseball is a team sport. And if they didn't have those 9 players, they would forfeit the game. And it's not fair, it's not right that because your child misbehaved, that everybody else suffers for it. Which brings me to commitment and how to maximize your membership with Suncoast or any Toastmasters club goes back to keeping the commitment, the Toastmaster promise. I looked on my Google, as we often do, to see what is the word commitment. It's a noun, the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, etc. And if you recall, those of you, probably with the exception of Tom, when you got your Competent Communicator manual, in the front of it was the Toastmaster Promise. And the Toastmaster Promise is a commitment. And I'm going to pass out some copies of it because you probably have not committed it to memory. Has anybody committed it to memory?
No kidding.
I want us to sort of, I want us to review. Can you all share? Wonderful. Because you know, sharing is caring. I want us to look at the Toastmaster promise. You all share.
Yes.
Share it
Yes,
here.
yes, ma'am.
And you'll see that it's really broken up into 3 sections. The first section of the Toastmaster promise has to do with participation. If you look at the first 3 things that are there, the first bullet item is to attend club meetings regularly. Suppose we were a baseball team. Those of you all that have played sports, or your children have played sports, or you've done almost anything, my thing was music, so I played the piano, I sang. It's important to practice. How well do you think your team will perform if half of them don't come to practice? They won't perform. They're winning teams. If you look at the New York Yankees, when I started doing a little background into baseball, I was surprised how many times the Yankees have won the World Series. It's almost like you want to say, well, were there other teams playing at that time or what? Because, I mean, it's just like, talk about domination. And I'm sure if we looked at that, we'd find that one of the things that the team members did was they practiced on a regular basis, not when they felt like it. And so one of the things that we look at here in the Toastmaster Promise is to attend club meetings regularly. When we don't attend meetings regularly, then we don't have anybody to time. The timer got up and told us why it's important to keep up with time, right? When they ask you to speak, they ask you to speak for a certain period of time. I read something on LinkedIn, a Toastmaster commented on the pastor that gave a little sermon at the royal wedding. Did anybody hear that Pastor Curry? One of the things that they commented on was they thought that he spoke too long. He was supposed to speak for about 6 minutes and he spoke longer. And he said, when you have something that is time sensitive, you know, like if you look at our agenda, we're expected to start at 7 and get off at 8, finish at 8:30. If it says that we're scheduled to speak for 10 minutes, but we speak for 15, it makes it difficult for us to still end at 8:30, right? So it's important to have those roles filled, but suppose we didn't have a timer because the person said, you know what, I'm just not feeling like coming today. That's why I said in the intro that our Toastmasters meetings, Toastmasters is like a team sport. Everybody's role is important. And in order to maximize your membership, it's important that there's someone there to time you. It's important that there's someone there to listen to your grammar, to listen to your filler words. All of that is what the Toastmaster experience provides. Can you imagine playing on a baseball team and you didn't have a shortstop? Well, number one, the other team would think that's where to hit the ball, right? Everybody's role is important, whether it's a speaking role that you have, whether it's you're the timer, whether it's to send someone, write someone a love note. Everyone deserves that. That's a part of the Toastmaster experience. The second bullet point, and we're still in the area of participation, to prepare all my speeches to the best of my ability, basing them on projects in the Communications and Leadership Program Manual or the Advanced Communication and Leadership Program Manuals, or as it's designed by Pathways. That will tell you what to do. It makes it easier for everyone. For the newer member that's trying to get some ideas as to how to present that project, they get to hear you do it. They get to hear somebody else do it. They get to hear that evaluation. I don't think that they randomly came up with the order of the projects in the Competent Communicator Manual. There's a reason why the icebreaker is speech number 1. So it's important that we respect that. There's a reason and a logic behind how they came up with the various speeches and projects in Pathways. So we should be respectful of that. And then it says, to willingly prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments. And it really goes to keeping our commitments, to understand that the Toastmaster experience not only helps us with communication skills, but with leadership skills. And so we get to improve those skills when we take on roles. When we take on roles to be the grammarian, when we take on roles to be a speaker, when we take on roles to be an evaluator, when we volunteer to do table topics. All of that helps us maximize the experience that we can get through table topics. Table topics, why would I say that? Through Suncoast Toastmasters and any Toastmaster experience. The next items, the next 4, really deal with interaction to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations. In our evaluations, we should be encouraging, but also look for areas that we might point out that can give people things that they can improve upon. Because no one is perfect. We can always get better. But always do it in a way that's encouraging, that gives them a feeling that they did a great job, and the next time it's going to be better and better and better and better. Then it says, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to willingly serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. Do you remember earlier we had the elections and we said, is there anyone that would like to be? Just think about it. Every role is important. It's an opportunity for you to grow and get more out of the Toastmaster experience as you afford yourself of the opportunity to not only participate in the meetings, but to serve in a position of leadership. Because the Toastmasters experience is about developing leaders and communicators. To treat my fellow club members and other guests with respect and courtesy. And of course, I think I gave a speech that talked about being nice. No one ever complains when you're nice to them. Does somebody say, you know, I wish you were mean to me? If you think, you always want to leave people feeling good that they had an interaction with you. And if you can't do that, maybe that just sort of means, you know, did your mother ever say if you can't say something nice, how does that end?
Don't say anything at all.
And that's a good principle, is it not? The next items have to do with how we can maintain club quality. To bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers. To adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs. And to maintain honest and highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. If we feel that the Toastmasters experience is a good experience, if we enjoy it, then we'll tell other people about it. There's no reason to keep it to ourselves, is there? Do you all enjoy Toastmasters? If you don't enjoy Toastmasters, then ask yourself why. And is there something you can do to make it better? But I encourage you to let other people know, because in almost every walk of life, it's important to have good communication skills and good leadership skills. It's not like this is a club of people making widgets, whatever they are. Or baskets, or something that, you know, some people like it, some people don't. We all need to communicate. We all, at some point in time, need to be a leader. Why not be the person that's confident, that can stand up and be a leader and communicate well? And why not be the person that goes to someone else, maybe someone that you work with, a neighbor, someone in another organization, and encourage them to become a part of Toastmasters? I don't think there's any reason to regret that. And that concludes my presentation on keeping the commitment.